It's Pyro Radio, it's Monday night. Now, you know me, Jay Fresh, you know I support and push all forms of new music from the world of hip-hop and grime. And if you've done your research, you know that I am a UK garage kid. A truly exciting time for music, new artists, all that good stuff. So I thought, you know what, let me reach out to a legend who is dropping new music that he's doing bits right now as well. We've got MC Fizzy from the Genius Crew on the phone line. What's happening, man?
But. Love them introductions there, bro. What's good?
I got to try without giving away my age, man. I got to try.
It's good, man. What's going on?
Wicked. Now
it's all good down there.
Good. It's good to hear, man. We're in a good place. I mean, I know life's a bit crazy. 2020 is an absolute madness. So I always like to check in and kind of see, you know, in general, how are things going inside and outside of music? Are you in a good place?
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I feel that, you know, lockdown has given me an opportunity to kind of really focus on crafting my art, you know, and really kind of, you know, find that, you know, that inner self when it comes to creation as well. So, yeah, like, I feel like I've created a lot. Obviously, I've had like Lockdown out, featuring, Lockdown with Scott Garcia, Troublesome, and Para. And now we've got this track, Fiasco, and also there's more music to come. Not sure what one I'm going to put out next, but it could be a toss-up between Done Out Here and another track. But we'll, you know, they can keep obviously more up to date with that at Fizzy_Don on my Instagram and stuff. So yeah. That's what we're doing at the moment, just really, you know, getting that popping.
Yeah, well, you've been busy, man. And I know when I've been speaking to other artists and producers and everyone in radio, like, we're always so busy just doing everything that if this time has given us anything, it's given us a little bit of time to like actually reflect, think about the direction, because sometimes it's difficult to see that, do you know what I mean? And obviously from what you said there, you've been able to take that time to kind of really work out where you're at, where you want to be. You know, which is really good, man. So this is the first time we've done an interview, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely, man. It's crazy. It was a long time coming, though. It was a long time coming, bro.
Yeah, 100%.
Nothing before its time.
Exactly. So I want to take you back to an earlier stage in your career. Obviously, we're talking about the kind of heyday of UK garage. Genius Crew, first crew to be signed, is that correct?
Yep, let's go berserk. That's right. Yeah, so we're the first crew to be signed. You know, so that obviously kind of, you know, obviously helped stuff, you know, other acts and kind of opened the door. Labels that were on the fence with like signing certain acts, it was like, well, hell yeah, might as well get it going, because we've already got people. There were people out there obviously bubbling and stuff like that already. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know, when we come, it was just like I'd already been hitting up the radio back in the day. I used to even MC with Neutrino. We used to MC back to back and stuff like. It was kind of before the Soul Solid days and all that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like Supreme FM and all of that. Yeah, all of them stations there. Do you get me? So, like, man's done the groundwork. You get what I'm trying to say? But yeah. So, you know, yeah, it was all an uphill progression really to the music scene where it is today.
I mean, that time I was buying records from, you know, your uptowns and black markets and hard to find in Birmingham, and the raves were just everywhere. Tape packs. It was, if you're not from that era or experienced it, whether you was a fan like me or an entertainer and a performer and a musician like yourself, it's difficult to almost explain kind of how sick it was. Do you know what I mean? How sick raves were. Oof.
Yeah, them days I was sitting down, cutting house, mate. Like, you get me? We'd be down at Music House, sitting down, waiting for dub plates. And I'm talking about going on a Saturday, mate, early in the morning, and you have to wait. You get me? You got like man like, you know, Ronnie Size, Q Sweat. You get what I'm saying? All of them guys and that, like, you you know, all of the big boys out there back in the day. They'd be cutting their dubs and that. Do you get me? And you'd be waiting to cut your dub, like. And then, you know, we'd be pressing up stuff, man. We had obviously had bits before we even hit the streets. People don't really know the history as much. We'll go back into it, but I remember I used to rolling with like backpacks of records, mate, going to Uptown and saying, mate, do you reckon you could try and put this one on your
Fling
shelf?
these up on the rack, yeah.
And then they might go on a little, I've sold a couple more now. So you reckon you can kind of move it up to there? You get what I'm trying to say? So like, it's a bit more visible. But yeah, so we went through all of them days, you get me, of kind of like, moving records and stuff like that, which was, obviously, a once in a lifetime experience to kind of understand what that was like. It was almost like, straight to consumer, which was, fantastic. Them times there,
Yeah, man. So when you look back on that, or I know that because there's been that kind of enough time now since UK Garage and all the other genres that it helped develop and spawn, that the heritage angle is so strong there and so unique. So when you look back at that time now, is there one particular moment, just one, in any part of that early journey that really stands out to you?
That stands out to me. I would say, one day, going to perform at Sidewinder, and just remembering, that every single thing I had on from head to toe was Prada.
Yes, come on.
Yeah, man, the Prada side bag and everything. It was just like, I just felt the beginning of a music revolution. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, it was just like everybody was so embedded into the element of it. You get what I'm trying to say? And it was just the moment, surreal. I hadn't even reached there. It's kind of like I was near a little hilly bit. I had to kind of walk over some hilly bit because I'd parked my car, and then I was going down and I could see a sea of people, and I just remember being proud of that and seeing everybody wearing the Prada trainers and that. But I remember I was head to toe in Prada, so I was like, yeah, I'm ready for my show. Do you get what I'm saying? And yeah, that's the time that I kind of remember, and it was good, man, because I was seeing like guys from my ends, they were like, yo, Fizzy, well, go on. And I'm on stage and I'm like, trying not to say, yo, go on.
Down the mic, yeah.
Up in the flyway. Just remember, I'm still on stage. Like, all right, cool. I'm going to do it in about 2 seconds when it fits in that gap there. Yo, big up my man. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, no. Those times they were, there's magical moments, definitely.
Yeah. And that's a sick story, man, because that's a very different experience to me queuing up for hours to get into Sidewinder as a paying customer, but still sick. And that's such a dope story, man. With UKG, like, it was so exciting. It was such a mixture of flavors. It was an exciting time. But it's fair to say that it fell. And when Garage as a scene fell, like, it fell hard. From major labels, 100 grand deals, all the clubs, Napa, all of that stuff wrapped up. When it fell hard. So for you, who was, you were up there doing those big things, like, how difficult was that? Because I've spoke to other people and they were like, we got a call one morning and it just cleared the diary out for the year and it never came back.
Yeah, that was pretty hard, man. It was pretty hard. It was kind of like. You get what I'm saying? Like, I remember I was probably the youngest artist on the scene. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That's why, even now I'm at a stage where I can still kind of adapt in it to the music was popping now. Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm around all the guys that do that sort of music. Do you understand? Like, they're my guys. Do you get what I'm saying? So, but where these guys at the time wouldn't have understood the music that I was into, because that weren't the music I was necessarily listening to. I was more listening to that rap. You get what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, coming into the garage thing was nice. It was different. It kind of took me away a little bit from my usual music. And then I kind of, I just started understanding the raving experience, and that's when I fell in love with it. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it was just like, you couldn't beat that raving experience. It was rave music. And yeah, for it to just all kind of topple down at such a young age, kind of like, well, where do I go now? So I think what that done is obviously it kind of obviously you experience some level of trauma, because it's like, that's something that you have which is kind of close to you, to get it. So it's kind of like, it takes a long time to find your feet, bro. It's not easy. It's not easy. And you got to find, when, especially like, as we do as artists, like we have self-belief in it. So when we're like, this is it, this is what we're going to do. Yeah. And having to find other avenues in order to kind of, match your standard of living, that's the hardest part. But it's like when you do find that part, it's like you've actually recreated yourself again, and it actually makes you stronger. In the recreation process, you look back and you're like, all right, cool, I can do anything now. Because, do you get what I'm saying? Like, in different ways, you're like, right, you know what? I've done things twice, and I've come back twice, and do you get what I'm saying? And I've died 1,000 deaths, and I'll die 1,000 more, and I'll still come back. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it does build resilience, but at the same time, God, those artists, who do suffer depression, because it's a real thing out there, and I want to send love out to them. Do you get what I'm saying? And just let them know that there is always something else that you can do, and there is always a silver lining. Trust me, it's just about mentally getting yourself out of that situation, and just trying to find some focus, and really trying to think about what you love, and then trying to achieve that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just like a double-edged kind of message I'm kind of sending out at the same time, because yes, believe in your dream, but at the same time, want us to be realistic out here.
Yeah, no, some really interesting insight there, and some positive words as well, because it's only been over the last year or so that mental health, even just within men, just men, let alone around music, and I've seen it on Twitter in discussions. Obviously people get big deals now or whatever, but is there even a team within that to deal with an artist's mental health? Now, mental health or whatever, or depression or things, or being at these huge highs and then it all changing overnight, traditionally as guys we were always seen that you almost wouldn't acknowledge that, because that would be like a weakness, isn't it? Like, no, I've got this. But like, there is a sense of trauma, and we've all known and seen people who have had something happen within or maybe outside music, and then they almost can't recover from that. So do you know what I mean? It takes time. It takes whatever tools or processes are there to help people. So when people kind of have had their have done major things, have had like their hiatus and done their own thing, and then kind of come back to music, I'm always like super supportive of that. Not only because of what they did before, but what they've done to kind of come full circle and really push themselves again with music. Because some people, they just step away and go, I can't do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. And me, I'm an advocate of people, like 100%. Like, I can see even some artists that are out there, yeah, I can see their behavior, things around them that can lead to mental illness. Do you get what I'm saying? And this is why I've got a charity called Music Changes Moods, and that's also being obviously a musician that's encountered trauma from situations. Me, I'm the sort of person, if something happens to me, I've got to give it back. Do you understand? I've got to give it back and help people in the positive sense of it. I've got to give back. You get what I'm saying? Because I know there's other people out there. It's not just me. I'm just like, it's happened to me or in a certain way, so I've got to. No, I'm like, my way of remedying it straight away, where I don't even fall into that kind of thing, is like, give back. Bam, and then somebody else, other people become the focus, not me. So my attentions are diverted now, and they're focusing on how can we help people that are going through the situation. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So that's something that, I want to, have an element of that incorporated. So that's something that I'll be looking at as well, man, because it's real out there, man. It's real out there. And I think people are becoming more kind of like accepting of their being, like, right, I'm an actual being, in it. Like, I'm not just a robot. Yeah. You get what I'm trying to say? And like the awareness, the vibration of the Earth's frequency is literally they're woken up. You get what I'm saying? People are searching more things like prayer and meditation. Some of the biggest, Google searched words during the lockdown. So it just shows you where everybody's at, mentally. It's a beautiful thing at the same time, man.
Yeah, man. Well, again, giving back to the music community and wider with what you do and what you've learned. Like, you if you now were giving advice to your young self, you'd be saying things and that you'd experienced that you hadn't experienced then. That's all part of the process. But yeah, I'm fully for that. Like, I'll always remember the first couple of DJs the first DJ who let me carry his record box, and I was like his apprentice, because that's how we did it back then. Like, I'd hand out flyers for him and then hand out CDs or tapes and then started doing little warm-up sets or whatever, and that's how you got in. So then as soon as I'm doing stuff, I'm like helping people as much as I can. And then whoever I help, you like to think they're the right people, that on their journey, they will then continue to help others. And like, the world's a better place there. We can all win. There's an unlimited amount of success and money, whatever we call success, whatever we define as an amount of money. Like, let's all get out there and win. Do you know what I mean?
Come on, bro. And this is like, you'll see with coming singles and stuff like that, my thing is this, innit? It's like, I'm here to obviously raise my awareness because I know what that does. And then when my visibility is raised, I am here to help a lot of the young come through, and guide them through a channel where, they're not only artists developed, they're actually like, they've got somebody that understands the whole mechanism and what it can draw out of them, and it can actually suck the life out of them, even when you're looking like glitz and glamour. Yeah, behind closed doors, you get me. You're smiling through the face of a clown. Do you get what I'm saying? Through the mask of a clown, literally. So it's just about kind of, creating that situation for people. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, I got to raise my visibility back up there. I know what the game takes. I know what it takes. So it's just important to just keep, doing that in order for the youths as well to go, well, okay, cool. I know, my man's doing bits out there. You get what I'm saying? He's somebody to listen to. It is where it is, isn't it? So, just creating that kind of, it's important to be that kind of, that role model. Not that I'm saying, right, everybody listen to everything what I talk about in my music. I'm not talking about that kind of role model. Understand what I'm saying? Because I have different experiences in life, good and bad, and that is my art, which is personal to me, that I want to deliver and get off my chest. So if people think, okay, well, that doesn't sound like a role model, that's not my business. That's my art. And that's how everyone's different as an artist, and everyone comes across differently. But my thing is this: it's not about my music. It's actually what I do behind closed doors, and what I'm trying to achieve with the music game, and my whole what the outcome is. Do you get what I'm saying? What the end goal is, So that's what it is for me, really. It's not a self-consumed game no more. It used to be, but it's not that no more. It's the whole agenda's different now. So it's kind of like, it's a nicer place to be honest with you.
It's good to hear, man. It's good to hear that energies are right. I can sense that just from talking and seeing your outlook and where you're at. Like, when your energies are in a good place and you feel settled, you can then embrace that creativity. And if we move into music, obviously the latest one from you, Fiasco, talk to us about that track, how the concept, how it all came around, where it came from.
On Hana. So basically that, I come from a, West Indian background. I used to listen to, like Stone Love. I used to watch Stone Love. All of these sound clashes and that Sting, Red Turtle, so all of these big clashes. Like when people are seeing the Beanie Man and Bounty Killer clash, I was watching that when I was a little baby. You understand what I'm saying? The original one. You get me? So like, that's the era where I come from, in it. So, and as I said to you, I like a fusion. Like growing up, obviously in London, it's so multicultural, so you get a fusion of music that you can obviously embrace, and that's what I am. I can't be boxed. I can't be boxed in. I'm a new age artist. I cannot be boxed in. You can't box me to that. You can't say I'm that. You can't say I'm that. Like, if people's got a problem, go, oh, well, you're not being to the scene. Like, it's whatever. I will bring more to the scene than people can ever imagine. Yeah, and I know where I come from. I know what roots my scene is. Do you get what I'm saying? And I will always love and respect that, because that's where I come from. That's what I'm about anyway. But I cannot be boxed as an artist. It's too small for what I'm about. So in regards to Fiasco, you know, coming off the back of what I just said, it's important to kind of, you know, embrace my heritage, because, you know, to have that vibe locked in you, yeah, it's sacrilege. It doesn't feel right. You need to release everything you're about. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, whatever you be about, bring about. So if you got that vibe in you, let it go in the studio. Don't just sit there and go, oh, do you know what? I'm not that sort of artist, so I can't do that. Shut up. You heard the melodies in your head. You had that vibe, but you're too scared to be yourself on a track. Go for it, innit? Give it a shot. You get what I'm trying to say? And I mean, this is the problem. I feel like, you know, sometimes the artists, they feel like they're being boxed in. And sometimes it happens because people tell them, you are that. You are urban. You are that. Then it becomes like, oh yeah, this is what I am.
Yeah, this is who I am, because I've been kind of, without realising, pushed down that angle, and that's where I sit, and this is how I should sound, rather than be creative, which is what you should be. I know it sounds silly when you're making music. You should have, it's a blank platform, it's a canvas, man. Like, you do your thing, innit?
Yeah, be a boss in your creation. That's what I say. Be a boss in your creation. Like, don't be afraid to, even if you do it and put it down and you can come back down to it and go, raw. You don't know how you're going to mature as an artist and go, raw, do you know what? I was on that track like years ago and I didn't stick, you know, you always kind of like got to let that creation out, because for me, that's what gives you, that's what self-medicates you as an artist. So yeah, that's where it comes from, that kind of style there, you know, the background. Obviously, you know, Afro beats, I got a great love for that. It's very similar to Bashment. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, you know, that fusion of kind of, you know, Jamaican and, you know, African, it's, to me, it's the same thing. When you do your history, it's the same thing. So that kind of finding this fusion for me is a beautiful place. So that's how Fiasco come about. You get me? And obviously big booty gal. You get what I'm saying? You know.
Obviously, come on, you don't need to say it. You don't need to say it. It's there. It's literally right there.
Yeah, straight up. That's how we like it, innit? Right there. Bow. Right there.
Well, listen, man. I know earlier on in the interview we spoke about some new music, a bit you're working on the way, and I'd love to continue talking, but we're going to get into your new tune that we just spoke about. Thank you for joining us on Pyro today. So I'm going to play the UKG. I'm going to play the UKG remix of the tune. If you could introduce it to us right now, please.
This one's Fiasco, UKG mix, Genius Crew, featuring MC Fizzy, live and direct in full effect. J Fresh. Let it go.